In normal times, there are many people who suffer from health anxiety. With the COVID-19 pandemic, it's understandable that these levels of anxiety have increased massively. Whilst there are many techniques and tools to try to calm our brains, I'm going to focus on one which I think is achievable for most people. Given that difficulty in breathing is one of the more worrying symptoms of the COVID-19 infection, it makes sense to try to concentrate on a more relaxed pattern of breathing to manage your anxiety and to potentially minimize the effects of disturbed breathing if we succumb to the virus. Firstly, what I want you to do is I want you to put one hand on your upper chest, one hand on your tummy. Ideally, what we want is for you to use your diaphragm. So how do we know if you're using the diaphragm? Well, essentially, if you're using the diaphragm, the lower hand should move. As you breathe in, the lower hand should essentially come out, and as you breathe out, the lower hand should gently move in again. So just try it for a couple of minutes, trying to make sure you're breathing with your diaphragm, i.e. the lower hand is moving and the upper hand is not moving too much. The next thing to think about is the word gently. I want you to gently breathe in, and I want you to pause at the end of the in-breath, and I want you to gently breathe out and pause at the end of the out-breath. Ideally, the in-breath should be slightly shorter than the out-breath. I'm not going to go into the physiology and science of why this is important, but essentially just try to practice what I've said, repeating the cycle, starting off gently, maybe doing it for half a minute or a minute, then forget it. Then maybe an hour later trying to do it for maybe 2 minutes, then forget it. Gradually building up. Like most habits in the body, it takes time to change those habits. We need to practice gently in the beginning to make sure it's not too stressful for our bodies, and then gradually it becomes a more normal habit. If you want further information regarding the science and ways we assess proper breathing behaviour, you're very welcome to look at the website thehealthequation.co.uk. We're now going to look at a biofeedback exercise. So on the screen, in the sort of top section where the cursor is now moving, there's a little ball going up and going down. So essentially we want to gently be breathing in when the ball goes up. We're going to pause. We're going to gently breathe out. As the ball goes down, we're going to pause. We're going to repeat the cycle. The bottom section of the screen is actually my data. So you can see my breathing pattern. I've now changed to another screen which gives me a little bit more data. The top left-hand part of the screen is looking at my real-time breathing pattern. It's measuring my level of carbon dioxide. You can probably see that top left-hand screen. The graph curves are now going a little bit quicker, a little bit faster, simply because I'm deliberately increasing my breathing rate. Optimal breathing for most people is between 6 and 8 cycles per minute. However, I've now gone up to 16 cycles a minute, which is the average breathing rate of most people in the UK. On the top right hand side, we're looking at my heart rate variability. The heart rate variability essentially is a measurement of my autonomic nervous system and tells me how stressed I am. So you can see the top right hand graph, when I was breathing really fast, got much more shallow, and now I'm beginning to slow my breathing rate down again, we can see an increase in my heart rate variability, and that means I've got a more relaxed nervous system. Stay calm and be safe. This is Gerry G at The Health Equation.